I mean, I'm going to try and stay really calm. I'm going to be really cool and collective, but I am absolutely fucking shaking. I mean, we're bottling this golden opportunity to get into the top 4. Tonight, we were absolutely diabolical, and I kept really calm when we lost to Everton. When we lost to Crystal Palace on Sunday, again, I was calm and cool. But this result tonight, it's just one too many. I mean, Wolves are a fantastic side. They're an absolutely brilliant side, and this was not going to be an easy game under any circumstance. But to lose in that manner, I mean, we were 3-0 down at half-time, and we're Arsenal. We're playing against a side that were in the Championship last season. Yes, they are a fantastic side, Wolves, and I'm not taking anything away from them, but we should be doing better. I mean, it's like we've got the top 4 in our hands. It was in our hands, and we could have already been on the verge of securing a top 4 spot had we beaten Crystal Palace, had we beaten Everton. It's not like we're playing any of the big boys. Our great record against the big teams, bar Liverpool and Manchester City, has put us into this position, and we're throwing it away with mediocre, stale fucking performances. I mean, the lineups, I agree with. The squad was correct. But again, I mean, 2 of the 3 goals that we conceded were just stupid, sloppy defensive errors once again. Their first goal, the free kick that Neves scored, was just amazing. And yes, the Socrates did get a consolation, but should be 3-0 down in the first place to Wolves. Welcome back to Analysing Arsenal. These are my thoughts on finishing the game at Molineux in the Premier League as Wolves host Arsenal. It was our game in hand, and this unbelievable race to the top 4, which nobody seems to want to get into the top 4. That in the Easter weekend that has just gone, we lost. We lost. Tottenham lost. Manchester United lost, and Chelsea drew. And this was a chance to get back into the top 4 and be in pole position. They're already saving grace tonight, and this is why I'm not absolutely on the floor. I've recovered from crying. That is that Manchester United play Chelsea on Sunday. If Manchester United beat Chelsea and we beat Leicester, we'll be 2 points clear of Chelsea and Manchester United with 2 games to play, which means it would be in our hands. Should Chelsea beat Manchester United on Sunday, they're going to be in the pole position to finish into the Champions League places. Like, it really now all depends on Sunday, and we've got to beat Leicester away from home on Sunday afternoon to be able to take advantage of what is going to happen between Manchester United and Chelsea. This was a golden opportunity to get ahead of them, and whatever happens, in the Manchester United versus Chelsea match, it doesn't matter because we're still in pole position. Now we've got to beat Leicester. We have to beat Leicester. And even then, it's not in our hands. It's been taken out of our hands now. And looking at our fixture list, we shouldn't be losing these games. I mean, Everton was a bad performance. It was a bad and poor away performance. And then what we did on Sunday against Crystal Palace was what we just defended absolutely, abysmally. And Mustafi was an absolute joke. But tonight, this was such a golden opportunity. And, Arsenal have just thrown it away. We've given it away. We've gifted Wolves 3 goals. Well, 2, because one of them was really, really good. But we've, gifted Manchester United the chance to get into the top 4. We've gifted Chelsea the chance to get into the top 4. The counter-argument to all of this, and what you could say, is that the Premier League is so tough now that it's not a guaranteed victory against anybody. And, teams like Everton, like Leicester, like Wolves, will cause you problems. But if you look at our squad and the Wolves squad, we have a far superior squad. We should be, firstly, doing better than being 3-0 down at half-time. But, I'm not blaming Unai Emery because, as I said, Unai Emery is doing the best he can with a squad that is not good enough to get into the top 4. When you look at where Arsenal were at the end of last season to where we are now, we've made improvements. I think that there's been moments and glimpses of what Unai Emery wants to do. Fantastic performances against Tottenham and Chelsea and Manchester United, respectively, at home. But then there's been these kind of performances. I mean, this is our 9th defeat of the season, which in itself is not good enough. But, you know, Unai Emery can only do the very best with the squad that he's got. Half this squad is ageing, half this squad is not good enough. But what angers me more than anything is that this squad is capable of producing performances and they don't do it. I mean, you know, this is an opportunity to get into the top 4. If we don't get into the top 4, Unai Emery can't get the very best players, which is what he needs to take Arsenal to where he wants to be. You're not going to get the very best players in the market, which is a heavy and tough market anyway, because player prices are so fluctuated that Arsenal don't spend the right amount of money anyway to generate the big boys into the club. If you're not in the Champions League, you're not going to get those big boys anyway. So it's a vicious circle, and Unai Emery isn't going to be able to get to work and to be able to get Arsenal to where we want to be if we're not in the correct competitions, and if we're not, you know, using our financial money that we've got behind the scenes, if we're not using it effectively, if we're not in the right competition to do that, then this is going to be the same thing, and we're going to see the same thing over and over again. Yes, we've got the Europa League to fall back on, but can you really see us beating Chelsea, even Valencia, if you look at how we are defending and some of our sloppy bits of play? I mean, Neves' free kick on 28 minutes was a great free kick. It was a long-range free kick. Leno didn't stand a chance. We shouldn't have given Wolves a free kick in that area anyway, because you're inviting pressure, and Wolves have got players that can cause problems. It was a fantastic free kick from Neves. The second goal, which Dorothy scored from the header, a ball was whipped in. Our Arsenal's line, our defensive line, is 3 or 4 yards further forward than it needs to be. So you're just gifting players with aerial threat a golden opportunity to get the ball into the back of the net. And the third goal, I mean, you know, Mkhitaryan passes it back to Jota. He's a pacey player. He's a strong, quick and athletic player. You give him the ball in that high area, if he's pressing Arsenal's back line, he's going to break into the back line, and then he's going to be one-on-one with Leno, and he's going to score because he's got the quality to do that. I mean, Wolves have got Jota, they've got Jimenez, they've got Neves, they've got, you know, players that can score goals, and you're gifting them opportunities. I mean, we had 11 shots tonight, 1 shot on target, 70% of the ball. Possession means nothing. It means absolutely fuck all if you do nothing with it, if you don't create anything. And the worst thing is that, you know, it looked like Arsenal didn't care. You know, there was no drive, there was no ambition. Manchester United get criticised heavily on Sunday for losing 4-0 to Everton because they weren't doing the simple things, tracking back, stopping runners, closing the channels down. If you don't do the basics, you're not going to get anything out of it. And when you're up against a side that is playing such brilliant football, I mean, you know, Wolves only have to scent their opposition team being a little bit weak and a little bit lacklustre, and they pounce on it, and they did exactly that. They did that in the Emirates. We were fortunate to not lose at the Emirates. It was only that Mkhitaryan saved us. But, you know, when you look at losing to Everton, losing to Crystal Palace, and now losing to Wolves, that's 3 games too many. 1 strike, you can say, right, just a bad performance, let's regroup and go again. Crystal Palace, you say, right, this is now getting stupid, but at least we've got a chance to, you know, have the top 4 very much in our hands. This is just 1 game too far, and if we lose to Leicester on Sunday, which is a possibility, Leicester away from us, Leicester are a good team, you know, we're throwing the top 4 away. We've got a golden opportunity. You know, the Europa League, winning the Europa League is not going to be easy. We've got to beat, you know, Valencia and potentially and probably Chelsea, because I can't see Frankfurt beating Chelsea. That's, you know, that's difficult. Chelsea and Arsenal are matched. I mean, you know, if we play our best and Chelsea play their best, it's a very even game. But, you know, Chelsea have got a better squad than us, so we're already at a bit of a disadvantage. And we've got to get past Valencia, who are a very good side anyway. This is a golden opportunity to go into the Europa League semi-final and final, knowing that it doesn't matter if we mess up in the Europa League, because we've got a Premier League position. That means that we're going to get into the Champions League regardless of what we do in the Europa League. You know, we're throwing it away. We're being bottle jobs once again. And it's not Unai Emery's fault. You know, I think that the squad that he picked, you know, dropping the likes of Mustafi, you know, dropping the likes of Kolasinac. You know, Monreal is an experienced left-back. Maitland-Niles has put in some great performances in right-back. Koscielny and Socrates were the dynamic duo that beat Chelsea, that beat Tottenham. They're fantastic centre-back. Xhaka coming back into the squad. Torreira coming back into the squad. We praise that we have a bit of fight and we have a bit of spirit in the midfield with Xhaka and Torreira. You know, Ozil, Iwobi, Mkhitaryan and Lacazette. Iwobi and Mkhitaryan do work for the team, but, you know, apart from Aubameyang, who is out of the squad with a sinus infection, which is out of our hands, it's not good enough. It's not fucking good enough. That squad is good enough to at least get a point. I'm not saying that they're going to get all 3 points because, you know, Wolves have got a fantastic squad, like I said. But we should be losing 3-1 to Wolves. It's just not good enough. You know, if we get into the top 4, it would be such a fantastic achievement because, you know, this squad are not good enough to get into the top 4 unless they play to the very best of their abilities in every single week, which they haven't done. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm absolutely shaking. I'm so upset and I'm so angry. I had time to gather my thoughts. I wanted to finish watching the Manchester United versus Manchester City game. Manchester City, for me, have now won the Premier League title, but I'm waiting to do my Premier League season review to give all of my thoughts and feelings to what's been a crazy Premier League season. As for Arsenal, though, you know, we have to win on Sunday, you know, and even then, we've got to hope that Manchester United do us a favour because we're still, you know, 2 points clear of Manchester United. You know, a Manchester United win would take Manchester United and Chelsea on to 67. We win would go to 69 with 2 games to play, which means that we would go on to 75 points should we beat Burnley away from home and Brighton at the Emirates, which I'm confident that we'll get 6 points out of 6 in our final 2 games. This has to be the wake-up call. We've already committed 3 strikes. We cannot afford to mess up again. And also we've got the Europa League semi-finals. So, you know, this isn't a season defining game, which means our season is over. It's still very much alive, but it's such a wasted opportunity, and that performance in itself is diabolical. And, you know, we don't deserve to be into the Champions League. We don't deserve to get into the Champions League playing like that. I won't be doing an analysis of Arsenal on Sunday, as I'm busy on Sunday. I will be watching the game, but I won't have time to record a match day review. So I will address the Leicester game in the Arsenal versus Valencia Europa League semi-final, and I'll talk about that. I may do like a preview, giving my thoughts and feelings that in midweek. I'm probably going to do a preview for the very first time this season, so stay tuned for that, but I'll address that in the next episode of Analysing Arsenal, but it won't be on Sunday. If you have enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new around it, and check out my other great content as well. And until next time, teach you sign out. Take care, and I shall see you all later. Take care, and I shall see you all very, very, very soon.